So it's the next day. I just want to give y'all a real quick update. Literally, I batted out the garage this morning, and it was tick, 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 tick. It was still ticking just like it was in the last video. As soon as I got coolant in there, start filling everything up. I just let it run for an hour, just like I was suggesting to myself. It just cleared up. It just cleared up. Now I did give it some RPM around 2,000, and I lied to you not. Probably like within like 10 minutes, cleared up. No more noise. She's in good shape, man. That was an interesting journey. Got this taken care of. All I gotta do is put all the cosmetic stuff back on there, fan shroud, and everything associated with that. Get that put back on there, and intake. Oh yeah, and the hose here. I need to replace that PCB hose. Because I got that blocked off because it was brittle and got old and broke. But other than that, it was an interesting journey getting this taken care of. I had fun. I'm just glad it wasn't something severe, major wrong with it as far as with, you know, like human error. But I checked my work. I mean, it only just made sense just for it to wind up being a depressurized lifter beam because of the age of this vehicle. I think it got over 200,000 miles on this thing. Hold on, let me tell you. Oh yeah, we're at 222,880 miles. And I can smell the old residual coolant in the exhaust and burn off. It's the infamous smell of a blown head gasket, that coolant mixed with the combustion gases, block, cast iron block, and water. Oh gosh, I diluted coolant. Yeah, I can smell it. Smells good though. Engine got a little blow by. I mean, like I said, this is just steam here, and you know what? Because that oil when I pulled out, it was just straight up chocolate milk. So all that residual water that was inside that block got around and all the other locations, it's still going to be there. It's going to have an excessive amount of moisture, and then over time it'll burn off. It'll burn off. I'm not stressed out about it at all. A lot of times, I'm gonna be honest, when I get these head gasket issues, and it's got chocolate milk in there, I ain't pulling no pin. I'm just changing the oil. And it looks beautiful. It looks great. You're not going to see that milky. It's not going to have that milky look to it. So much that is, but it's going to work just fine. As long as it's got some hydro lubrication, nothing's going to happen. I've done a lot of them. I can promise you. But I'll tell you what, if anything do happen, I can promise you I'll update. But this was a good diagnosis, fun journey. It's too bad it just took so long to me to get this motor replaced. There's no oil leaks. I mean, it just went through beautifully smooth. And I can understand why a lot of people may like V8s and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of them, or or these overhead valve engines, not the overhead cam. I knew it would have been a lot more difficult. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, we just have to learn this idle. We're fine. They just need to learn. The battery's been disconnected so damn long. We still need to learn its enrichments and D-cell enrichments. So the fuel trim's got to adapt. That's all. But I can understand why a lot of people may like these overhead valve engines. They're very simple, easy to work on. I like the cast iron block. You're not threatened with the potential stripped out threaded area in the block, so you ain't got to worry about that. I mean, it's just nobody really worked on this car. I don't think anyone ever went inside this motor but me. And beautiful repair. All right. Hey, if anything happens, I'll definitely update. Hit that link, subscribe channel, stay informed, how the research can work. Till next one.